All right, guys, welcome back to another build update. Show you guys kind of what I got going on, what I made so far, and where I'm looking to continue going. So first things first, sent the control arms I got from Full Tilt Street Rods back and exchanged them for their T-bar type mounts. After talking to Clay, we kind of figured that would be better. I could have ran the other ones upside down or flipped the mount to accommodate for this kind of crazy arm and how high this one that came with it is. But yeah, I went with the T-bar conversion and their T-bar mounts. Now, they don't tell you. I'm sure if you asked, he could tell you, but it didn't come up and they didn't come with any instructions. But the T-bar conversion kit, if you need to convert your coilovers, is the 3.5 inch spacing. That measurement is end to end, not center to center. So you'll need 2 of those, 1 for each side. These holes that the vertical bolts go through needed to be opened up just a little bit. Might have just been because they probably were cut with a plasma cutter, a laser cutter. 3/8 drill bit in there, cleaned them up real nice, fits fine. On the front end, to make everything work, this mounting pad for the steering rack, I had to grind that down to get enough clearance for the arm to actually sit here. I'll probably take it down some more. As you can see, it's starting to come through the welds. That's okay, it's not really a big deal. There's a lot of strength still going to be there. Take a little bit more off, and when I have the internal bars welded, I might have them just fill that in. So on this kit, my particular one, had to grind that down. Have to grind off some of the coating on the inside and outside, because that's where the weld's gonna be for the tubes. I started cutting off these strut mounts. They're not going to be necessary. Nothing's going to use them. I'm not going to ever convert back again, so get rid of it. Why not? On the mounts and tubes that come with the kit from Full Tilt, the long one that goes inside, I had to grind that down as well. It was just a little too wide. It's fine, rather it be too big than too small, because just do a little grinding and slides right in there. Replacing this guy, there's a little inner sleeve the bolt usually rides on. To press that out, it was super easy. And just use a socket that's smaller, 1/2 inch, what happened to work for me. And then on the other side, to capture, 13/16. Put one on the inside of the sleeve, the eyelet in between, this one on the outside, and you press it into each other. A little bit of lube on this, some silicone or any kind of rubber, polyurethane safe lubricant, nothing petroleum based at all, any kind of solvent. I like to use this stuff. Works great. Super expensive though, but really good lube. Press it out, reverse kind of deal to push it in, and some snap ring pliers. These are crap. I literally just bought these about 20 minutes ago from Lowe's. They got the job done, and luckily I'll never have to use them again because they barely worked for what I needed. Let's see, another update. Probably starting to design my own new knuckle that will use some of the newer Mustang brakes and hubs. That's a fun project to learn CAD while doing. Also decided, as much as it would make things better and would be an upgrade to replace these arms, a big point of this build is to be within budget and try to shoot for that $22,000 range for a completed Cobra, just to show that it can be done while still using almost all new parts. Obviously the engine, to stay within that budget, is going to be used, but I am still trying to shoot on a brand new transmission. You can get away way cheaper. You just go find a Mustang in a junkyard with the T5 trans and pull out that 5.0 and that T5 trans. It'll go in here just fine, still be lots of power for how light the car is, and be however cheap you can get it. I've got junkyards by me here in Southern California that on sale days, you can get an engine for under $200. Trans probably around the same price, so you're looking at 400 bucks to help complement this drivetrain. I'm considering it back and forth all the time, just going that route. The motor mounts, as far as I'm aware, of the 351 versus the 302 are exactly the same. I could make the upgrade or the swap out in the future. I am also considering doing that for one other reason, is I really would like to run stack injection or individual throttle bodies. I think it looks great. I think it fits the Cobra kind of style. Some of the older, I think the 289 race versions of them had it. Some of the GT40s had the individual throttle bodies, and those are gonna run you about $2,500 and up for everything minus injectors and computer. You can get the Speeduino. It is a new offshoot from the original Mega Squirt that will run a computer, and you can build one for like 200 bucks and have all of the control like you would on a Mega Squirt or some of the other higher end ECUs. You just have to learn how to tune it yourself. Tons of videos, tons of support forums. That's probably the route I'm going to go, at least for my EFI. I'm gonna run the Speeduino as my ECU. Like I said, right now playing with budgets and kind of deciding on it, going the 351 route or not. I still will probably do that because junkyard motor price is junkyard motor price. The new trans is over $2,000. The Tremec TKX is really the one to go with for its capacities, but you're looking at like 2,600 bucks, I think. That's kind of where I'm at thinking wise, giving you guys some numbers. So recap, base kit was just over $4,000, $4,600 at the end of the build. I'll do a full price recap for the base kit. Had to buy a center section. I spent $1,200 on that one because it has a Eaton True Track in it, 3.50 gears, and should be rated to hold up to 800 horsepower. Purchased new upgraded axles, though it did come with axles. You can see the ones that it came with back there. Those were a little over 200 bucks each, but they are better quality steel. And I originally needed the different bolt patterns because I was gonna run the Chevy patterns, but got these wheels, saved a bunch of money on a price from Jegs. I don't know if something was wrong, wasn't gonna complain, they didn't fix it. Saved a bunch of money on the wheels. The rears are 18s by 11s. They were 1,500 bucks for the rear two wheels. The front wheels were supposed to also be around the $1,200 to $1,500 range. I got them for $900 with shipping. Saved quite a few hundred bucks. They are 18 by 8.5, I believe, if I remember correctly. I said I talked about them in the other video. We're looking at new hubs. Those were $200 and something for upgraded X-Tracker XKB hubs. I'm drilling them out to the Ford pattern myself, tapping and threading those holes using, I believe, Willwood studs. The studs were another 40, 50 bucks. Lower control arms, those guys were $300 with shipping. Not too bad. There's not really a price difference between the T-bar and the old school. The T-bar conversion kit, that was $58 shipped from Viking. You can spend about 60 bucks, the same price, to get a set from QA1 and order those on Amazon. I heavily considered doing that because Amazon's return policy is much easier and better. We're running StopTech stainless braided lines, front and rear. Those were about 40 to 60 bucks a pack, front and back. I think altogether, actual money spent on the Cobra so far is around $7,000 so far. So I've still got $13,000 to play with. The rest of the body, everything else besides engine, transmission, driveline, obviously brake lines and a little bit of wiring, but that's with any of them. The rest of that stuff is $6,000. So I've still got about $7,000 left in my plan to try to hit that $20,000 mark for engine, transmission, and custom length driveline. That's where I'm at, guys. Still haven't sent off for the new readjusted brackets, but those are there, they're ready to go. I'm gonna continue to go with exometry. Quality for the price. Quality is the same as Send Cut Send. Price was near 50% less. I just can't justify spending more money. This is all about being a budget build. That's the whole point of this, is to get the best Cobra I can build from value parts, not cheap, not crappy quality, but parts that aren't more money than they need to be. These lower control arms, fantastic, made in the USA, excellent, excellent quality, supporting a smaller business, and they were less money than the cheap imported ones. The cheap imported ones were about $200 an arm. You can't go wrong with that. Once again, full tilt street rods, Clay, super nice guy. I just wish I would have known some stuff going into it. I'll take the blame on that more than him. And just knowing about, or not knowing about the T-bar conversion, which I do now, that's the way to go. I had no articulation room without the T-bars. This is also supposed to be stronger, kind of the new modern style of how coilovers are. I'll convert, not that big of a deal. We'll run it and see how it goes. Another side note, if you guys want to know, I've heard on some forums, on some Cobra forums specifically, that these arms, because they're not adjustable, the upper or lower triangulated forelinks, some people had some binding issues or some issues getting the angle right. I'm keeping that in my mind once I get the engine and transmission set in, that I might have to purchase adjustable arms. There is a company that sells Cobra kits. Looks like an exact copy of this. I don't know if one's copying the other or one provides for the other. I couldn't tell you. There's another company that sells those adjustable arms. They run about 300 bucks, so I gotta take that into consideration. All right, guys, thank you for watching. It's sporadic. I'm working. I work really far from my house, so I spend a lot of time driving. I don't have a lot of time to work on this, and I've got no sponsorships, no endorsements. I'm definitely not well off financially in terms of just playing with an extra car and blowing money left and right. That's why I didn't buy one already made, kind of why I'm doing this video, to show you guys it can be done with some time and some patience, spending certain amounts of money here or there. So thank you guys for joining me. If you get a chance, like and subscribe. Recently just passed 100 subscribers. That's awesome. Everybody dreams of being a big YouTube star and having millions of subscribers and living off of it. I'm just glad people care about watching this, and maybe it helps you, because these are legendary cars. Almost any car guy somewhere on his dream car list is going to be an AC Cobra. So I want to show you that it's within striking distance for a lot of people, maybe more people than they think. I know there's a lot of people that $20,000 for a car is not within striking distance, and that's okay. I spent most of my life that being the case. And I'm really just pushing a lot of finances around and being creative to make this one happen. So if you guys are interested, check out Antique and Collectible Autos. This is the phase 1 kit with the extra stuff I talked about. You can get the all-in kit for $11,000 minus the rolling chassis parts. As I said previously, you can get that stuff, better quality stuff, through somebody else for less money. But if you want to just make things simple, you can go with it from them. That adds like another $3,500 to the cost. So again, guys, thank you so much. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one.